Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin, and today I wanted to do a video that was requested by a subscriber, and it was to kind of take you through the journaling process with me, because I really want to get back into journaling. I haven't done it in a long time, at least not like on a regular basis, and I find that when I stop journaling, it really kind of affects my creativity and how I'm feeling. So I want to make a point of getting back into doing it as a daily practice, and there are no rules with journaling. You can do it however you want, and I just have a few supplies to get me started. So I have this notebook that I got last year from my partner and my kids, and I have never used it before. I think sometimes it's nice to start with a fresh notebook when you're starting the process of journaling. Although if you don't have one, it's perfectly fine to just use scraps of paper or the rest of a notebook that you've already started. I have a notebook I've shown you before where I make notes for videos, so I'm going to keep that notebook specifically for that, just so it doesn't get all mixed together. And I have this little pen that they got me as well. I think it was a Mother's Day present last year, so that shows how long I've had it for and I haven't got around to using it. I also have my coffee and my potato cup that my partner got me when I broke 2 cups recently, and some Reese's peanut butter cups for sustenance. So I am not a tidy journaler or person really, and I know that some people have these like picture perfect like journal pages where it's all really prettily laid out, and they use like really fancy stationery and it's all color coded and stuff, but that's just never going to be me. So I'll just show you how I do it, and everybody can journal however they want. Like, there aren't any rules, and you can make it as artistic as you like or keep it completely simple. I'm a bit of a messy writer and I like to scroll on things and not think too much before I write, so that is kind of my only process. And I got really into sticking with doing 3 pages a day for a long time after reading The Artist's Way, which is a book that basically guides you towards like being your most creative self. And in it, it recommends writing something called morning pages, which is basically just stream of consciousness writing in a journal every day. And you just don't think too hard when you're doing it. You just write without thinking and then see what comes out of it. And quite often you're surprised that creative ideas are formed like through the process. And I feel like it kind of unlocks my creativity and helps me to get in touch with feelings that I don't really understand consciously. So I'm going to do that. I just start by writing the date. So this is the 17th of January. I still can't believe it's 2025. Like, I can still remember writing 90s and like 2000s and thinking that felt like kind of futuristic or something. Yeah, so usually whenever I journal, to get started, I start with something really, really simple, like either what kind of a day it is or how I feel. So that's what I'm going to write now. And sometimes I use my journals for writing poetry as well, and sometimes a poem will kind of come to me and it's like, I don't really know where it comes from, but it just is in my head and I have to get it down on paper quickly to get it out. And when I do that, like sometimes I will sit and write poetry, particularly late at night, for like ages, just poem after poem. They tend to come in like quick succession, but when I'm doing morning pages, I just write without thinking, and it's interesting seeing what comes out sometimes. And when you read back over it, you're like, did I write this? So yeah, like basically today I'm feeling like I'm being really hard on myself about everything and beating myself up, and it's not productive in any way. But I feel like I am in this phase of kind of like what was the word? I'm in this phase of kind of inertia where I am really struggling to start any art projects, and it's really getting to me. So that's what I'm going to start by writing about. So when you're writing, like, if you don't know where to start, just start by like writing like a journal like you would as a kid. Like I had my first journal when I was like 5, and I remember writing the first page in it, and it was about my birthday party that day, and it was very like, today we went to the pool and I had this friend there and we were playing together and I got a really nice present. And I know that that's very like childlike, but sometimes I think it can help to approach it like that and not make it into something serious and intimidating, and then you get more playful with it and freer in your writing style, and you can kind of go off on tangents then. But it's just sometimes just writing down the first few words can be the hardest part. And I like to write everything down. Like I like lists, I like budgeting and writing it down. I like making, if I'm putting together a video, I like to write it all out first. I just feel like that is how I organize my thoughts. But when I neglect my journaling practice, I feel like everything else kind of falls apart around me. You can also just write down observations that you have about your environment. Like, it's just about finding a starting point. It's kind of like if you were writing a story and you don't know how to get to the kind of central theme or whatever, so you just start off with something vaguely related and see where you go from there. I can't decide if I like the white chocolate or milk chocolate Reese's Cups better. I find my ideas flow more when I write quickly as well and don't worry too much about how it looks. And I know that can be different for different people, and of course it depends what kind of journal you're doing. You might be doing an art journal, or like, what are those called? Like a wreck my journal type of thing, or a bullet journal. There's so many different kinds you can do, so it's completely up to you, the format that you want to use. I also find, like, sometimes I like to listen to music whenever I'm journaling, but sometimes I just like silence. And I think that a lot of the time, because I'm somebody that is not very good at just sitting doing nothing, it's kind of like a form of meditation for me, because my hand's moving and it's kept busy, but my mind can kind of rest, and it's not demanding. It's not mentally demanding. And like, I would struggle to sit and just meditate, but because my hands and my mind are involved, it's like, it's just much more achievable for me. But also I do think the best ideas come to you when you're writing or walking or just staring into space. Those are the times that I think that ideas come to you like little gifts, and that is what I want to allow like more room for in my life, because that is what kind of feeds the creative process, and making things is what makes me happy. So I want to be able to access the ideas and things easily, and I think that writing stuff down is like, it's a very quick and easy way to get to that. And the Artist Way is like, it's for all artistic and creative people, or people who want to get into it. Like, it's not just for writers, but like, it's basically been proven that journaling and getting those 3 pages out each day like unlocks the creative process for any type of like artistic person. It's not just about writing. So even if you make prints or paint or sew, like, writing will still do you good. And I have found over the years that writing is like a form of therapy, and I think I've got more from it than I have ever got from like going to therapy. And I just think that you surprise yourself with the like realizations that come about through your writing. Like you'll read over your page and you'll be like, wow, like I didn't even realize that was why I was feeling that way, or this was what I wanted to do at the minute, or like you can just discover so many things about yourself, and it's really, really useful. But it's funny because it's like your hand kind of like it's confessing things that your brain hasn't even like thought of yet, or at least not consciously. I think it's a way of kind of accessing your unconscious mind and finding out things about yourself that are hard to access just through sitting and thinking things over. And like as a teenager, I spent a lot of time journaling, and I was always filling up notebooks. I was much more like disciplined about it then, but it was also just probably that I had more time and headspace to think about that, because even though I was in school and studying and doing different activities and stuff, I didn't have any adult responsibilities. So like I think I used to do a mixture of like writing and drawing in my journals, and I really loved just like seeing whatever came from it that day. And I do think that my phone has kind of blocked that in a way, because the more I get absorbed by my phone, the less time I have for other things that I find to be more productive. But also I feel like it does something to your mind, where I notice the more the time I've been spending on my phone, it feels like the more time I need to spend on my phone, and it is like an addiction. And then also I feel like it makes me less creative because my attention span kind of dwindles, and I feel less easily satisfied and less easily like able to just sit at peace. So I really want to minimize the amount of time I spend on my phone this year, and writing about that has actually kind of revealed that to me. So I know that I am somebody that could quite happily like not have a phone, but there are times where I get sucked into it like everyone else, and it just gets like it takes up too much of the day, and it's like a barrier to all the other things you could be doing. So I just was thinking about that too, but I'll just show you a quick glance. That is my kind of messy journaling style, and I know that there are a million kinds that would look nicer than that, but I just find for writing things out, it doesn't matter how it looks to me. It's just about getting it out on paper and thinking things through and discovering things about myself and finding creative ideas. So I hope this is helpful to someone, and let me know if you journal and if you have a different technique, or if you're thinking about starting journaling and what approach you would like to take to it. And I just think it's a good hobby as well to get into, because it's free, and like it's something that I have found has just like opened me up to so many other ideas, and it's great for a no-buy and helps you just like organize your own thoughts. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll make another video soon. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and have a great day. Bye.